On episode 3, we pick our top 10 characters we won in a Smash Brothers game. Connor and I talk Final Fantasy VII, and we reminisce about games we loved as kids that don't hold up today. My name's Brian, and you're listening to Dragon Power. So really quick,
What's up, dude?
I'm going to fire off a question,
All right.
and you're just going to answer it.
Okay.
Who's your favorite Toy Story character? Go.
Woody.
Perfect.
Or Buzz. I don't know.
Which one?
Buzz.
Are you sure?
Yes, final answer.
Final answer is Buzz.
Dude, I love Buzz.
Cool. All right. I like Woody.
I think they're even in my mind.
I'm going to put Woody a little bit ahead of Buzz.
Okay.
I like Buzz Lightyear because I like Tim Allen a lot, but Tom Hanks is amazing.
I keep forgetting that those are their voices.
Right?
Like, it just doesn't, like, when you say Woody, I'm like, oh, Woody! I don't think Tom Hanks. You're like,
Because I'm a grumpy old adult who's like, they have voice actors, and you are a kid with childlike wonder who's like, they're real.
Big 20-year-old kid.
I'm just kidding.
Untainted by the world in any way.
Yes, you are the most innocent person I know. You're all like, what are taxes?
Like, I don't know how to do my taxes. I actually had to learn last year.
Did you really? That's awesome.
It sucks.
Yeah, doing taxes is no fun for anybody.
I need to do it early this year because, like, I waited till literally, like, if I'd waited one more day, I'd go to jail.
That's awesome.
So I need to not do that this year.
You don't go to jail. They just get mad at you. It's not like...
I remember my mom was like, you need to do your taxes. You're going to go to jail. I'm like, wait, really? And then I hopped on that because I thought I would go to jail.
It's not like they don't have like a SWAT team waiting outside your neighborhood with like a countdown timer.
Like,
they're just like, all right, if Connor doesn't hit submit within the next hour, we're just going to kick the door.
Kicking the door down. It's going down today.
We're going to make it happen.
I love it.
That's fun.
Taxes suck.
Yeah. Hey, everyone.
Hey, speaking of taxes, here's Dragon Power.
Speaking of taxes, Dragon Power is on the air. All right, episode 3.
Cool.
It's monumental.
Hey, I'm Connor.
I am Brian.
Cool.
So, we've got an actually pretty terrible show today. You might not want to listen to it.
I don't know. Don't tell them that.
Oh, okay.
Tell them to keep listening, even if they hate it.
All right. Today we've got a great show full of good things that we like because of stuff and things.
Yeah.
Was that good?
That was very good, Brian.
Perfect. I've been working on my selling skills.
Thanks, dude.
Yeah.
All right. So, what have you done with your week today, Brian? Or this week?
What have I done with my week today?
Yes.
Let's see. I had Monday off because of a holiday. Woo! Then there was 3 days of work. And then we got hit with a giant snowstorm in Nashville.
Mm-hmm.
So I missed Friday.
So did I.
Perfect. Got paid for it. So that was okay. I basically used my Friday as an extra day to just play video games.
That's what I also did.
Because I normally don't get a whole lot of time to play video games as long as I'd like. And Friday was just kind of like a gift. It was like, hey, you know what? You can't go anywhere. You can't really do anything outside of your house. Why don't you play some games?
Be a huge nerd, Brian.
I was like, all right, hey, thanks, weather. And it was like, no problem. So
everyone else is out there wrecking their cars, but you're smart.
It's
you're out there
true.
playing video games, wrecking your cars in video games, not in real life.
Yes, please don't wreck your cars.
Don't do that.
Yes, drive safely if you're in the Nashville area.
Yes, do that.
Anyway, so I played a few hours of Dragon's Dogma on Steam.
Okay.
Which was great. I play a lot of Call of Duty Black Ops 3 with my brother because it's pretty much the only game he likes playing. And I'd rather play Call of Duty with my brother than play no games with him at all.
Fair enough.
So, but yeah, it's always fun unless I have one of those days where I just can't seem to
muster up the...
Yeah, like there are days where I'm like, dude, I'm amazing at this game. And then there are days where I'm just like, it's like I've never touched a controller before in my life.
I've died 3 times in a row.
Yeah, I died 3 times in one life. I don't understand how this happened. So, yeah, that's pretty much what I've been doing this week, man.
Cool. All right.
I watched a movie yesterday because I was like, I'm going to take a break from games. So I'm going to watch a movie. Okay. What was the movie that I watched? Oh, yeah, I watched A League of Their Own.
I don't even know what that is.
I was like, I'm going to watch a Christmas movie because it's all snowy and delightful outside. But then I ended up just watching a movie about women's baseball, and it was awesome. It's got Tom Hanks in it.
Oh, yeah. I was coming over, and I was like, I've never seen that movie. I was like, that's cool. That's Tom Hanks, but I'm still not going to watch it.
Tom Hanks, Gina Davis. John Lovitz is in it for a short amount of time. It's really good. I love baseball movies. It's weird.
Really?
I have like this affinity for old school baseball, like 80s and 90s baseball movies.
Yeah.
Like Major League. I don't know if you've ever seen that movie.
No, like all I can think about is Angels in the Outfield.
That's also a great movie that I would watch any day of the week. But yeah, like Major League's got, I actually watched that about a month ago. It's got like Wesley Snipes and Charlie Sheen and some other people in it. It's great.
Okay.
It's fun. Anyway, so yeah, that's what I did this week. What'd you do?
All right, I watched a couple movies this week. Actually, I only watched one movie this week.
So that's less than a couple.
That's actually one less than a couple. So
Perfect.
Single. So I watched 13 Hours, which is that new movie about Benghazi. And directed by Michael Bay. It was good.
Okay.
If you like action movies, probably go see it. It's
Cool.
not as explosion-y as I thought it would be, but it's good.
Well,
Yeah. And in terms of games, I beat Uncharted 2 for the first time.
Yeah, dude, you didn't even tell me that. That's awesome.
I know. I was saving it for the podcast.
Oh, well, perfect.
Yeah.
Secrets.
We hide a lot of things from each other, and it's really weird.
What did you think?
I thought it was good. I can't really, it's just solid. Like, didn't blow my mind, but it didn't suck. So it's like, it was like, I don't know.
That's my favorite game on the PlayStation 3.
I know.
So, well, I'm glad you at least liked it instead of being like, oh, I think it sucks. So,
yeah.
Cool.
And then I started 3 because I bought the Nathan Drake collection a while ago. And I started 3, I don't know, maybe a fourth away at the end of that.
Okay. I like 3 a lot too.
It's really good. Man, I keep going to the wrong. And I bought Assassin's Creed 4 on
Black Flag?
on that flash sale or whatever it was called.
Oh, it was the PlayStation Essentials sale?
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I bought that and I've been playing that a lot, dude. I forgot how much I love that game.
That game is awesome.
That game is.
I am not a huge Assassin's Creed fan. Like the last one that really captivated me was Assassin's Creed 2, and then Black Flag showed up, and I was like, yeah,
I'll play the Pirates of the Caribbean game.
Heck yeah, dude.
That is the closest we'll ever get to a Pirates of the Caribbean.
Absolutely.
Game. Well, because it basically is just like insert Jack Sparrow with Edward Kenway.
And Edward Kenway is, even though he's like a total jerk,
he is the worst human being.
I love him though. Like I absolutely love him as a character. I'm like, oh dude, you're such a freaking jerk to everyone, but you are so freaking awesome too. So
because he's not a good guy. Like that's the thing. Like, he's just a pirate. Like sweet.
He's very anti-hero.
And then what else did I play? I played a lot of Smash Brothers this week.
Okay. Cool.
Trying to shake the rust off.
Sure.
It was fun. Trying to learn all the intricacies of Cloud and whatnot. Trying to get into that.
I love Cloud, man.
Cloud's really fun in that game.
Yeah. Recently, Connor brought his Wii U over to my house because I don't have a Wii U anymore. I actually had to sell it, but I wanted to try out some of these new DLC characters that I haven't gotten a chance to play. I played Cloud. Cloud is just so much fun, man. It's like, I know it was like a quote-unquote obvious choice, but he plays really well, so it was a lot of fun.
You played Ryu too.
Yeah, I ended up liking Ryu the most because he plays the closest to a like traditional fighter.
Yeah, he's quarter circles.
You can still do quarter circles and all of the actual Street Fighter inputs and stuff. My only problem is he doesn't auto turn around.
Oh yeah, Eureka Play is like, oh man, I would beat you so hard if this game would auto turn. I'm like, that's the point of the game.
That's awesome. Yeah, I was fighting him and I was doing well, but then I would just do moves off into the distance with my back turned to Connor.
Tatsumaki on the other side of the screen. Like, okay.
It's like, dang it, man, just turn around, right? You just do it, man.
And then other than that, I played a little bit of MKX.
Awesome.
Because Brian's really good at MKX.
That's my game. That's my jam.
It's his game, and I need to dethrone him in some way.
It won't happen.
Not maybe that's a harsh way to put it, but I need to give him a good fight.
Well, yeah, and that'll happen. Yeah. Like you'll dethrone, like your chances of dethroning me on MKX is probably very similar to my chances of dethroning you in Smash.
But the thing is, like, I got like a fire in me because I'll be like, I got to do it,
and that's fine.
And you just don't care. Also,
I don't care about Smash.
Also, you don't own the game, so that's
that is true. I like playing Smash a lot, but I don't have that like drive to get super good at Smash.
That's like I'm a very competitive person by nature.
Yeah, you are. I remember like the first couple times we hung out and we played Smash, you were just like showing no mercy to all of us, like beginners to the game. And I was like, man, this dude's kind of a jerk.
I've gotten better though. Like,
you have. No,
I asked for his permission. Like, dude, can I go ham just once?
Yeah. No, and I like that. I like that about you because you were able to identify. You're like, hey, sorry for being so intense with this game.
It's because at that point when I brought the game over, I had been playing a lot of competitively by the time I brought that over. So like, it was like it's win or you are just everyone calls you a fraud. Like so, it's like I need to win. So now that I've retired from Smash, it's like I can play it casually now.
Yeah.
Even though I still get really mad if I lose online, but like there's just Yoshi, dude.
That's awesome.
Fun fact: I hate Yoshi.
Oh,
because of Smash Brothers now.
I love Yoshi, so I have no problem with Yoshi. He's all like, Yoshi.
But that's enough for now for the Super Smash Cast.
Okay, hey, speaking of which, the boys over at Flock of Geeks Gaming, Defense and Kester, good friends of ours.
Good guys.
They suggested that we do our top 10 characters we want in Smash.
And I was like, okay.
Yeah, I figured as soon as I told Connor that, he was like, yes, finally my time to shine.
Yes.
His eyes started sparkling like an anime. It was great.
It was great.
So yeah, the guys at Flock of Geeks, they actually did that on episode 4 of their podcast. It was a super cool segment to listen to. A lot of fun. So I'm excited to do this. Let's get into it, man. Why don't you go first?
All right. So what do you do? Like the trade-off things that we're gonna do?
Yeah, we'll go ahead back and forth.
So my number 10 is James Bond.
Nice. Okay.
So I kind of viewed him as like a trapper character.
All right.
Because I mean James Bond, even though in the newer movies he's more upfront and personal, but
Sure.
like I imagine it would be like I have a watch laser, or like a pin grenade, or like a grappling hook.
So
like,
this is more like Pierce Brosnan.
So yeah, I was thinking like GoldenEye era. Because actually, fun fact, in N64 Smash Brothers, James Bond was considered as one of the playable characters.
Oh.
So like this isn't just pulling it straight out of the blue. Like,
Okay. No, that makes sense because he was. I mean, GoldenEye was
super
a
popular.
huge deal back then. So
like I mean, like he'd have like trip mines, like pin grenades, like
Sure.
he'd have a bunch of gadgets, be like a trap character.
cool.
So.
I like it. All right, my number 10 is Eddie Riggs from Brutal Legend.
Yes. Yes.
Tell me that wouldn't be sweet.
Oh, dude, I forgot it. Like I didn't recognize the name, but I was like, I want Jack Black in my game.
Yeah, absolutely. So I kind of like, basically what I did with my list here is I just kind of, I knew you were probably going to go more towards characters that would actually be good in Smash, and I just kind of went towards characters that I think are just freaking awesome.
I did half and half. I tried to do both.
I also came up with like very half-hearted like final Smash ideas for all my characters.
Okay.
So Eddie Riggs, excuse me, would do some semblance of like a gnarly guitar solo, I guess, that, I don't know, maybe if you got close to it or something, you were just overcome by the power of rock and you just get launched off the screen.
Okay. Kind of like Donkey Kong has something similar to that.
Sure,
where he plays
yeah.
bongos.
Oh, okay. So yeah, like that, except with less bongos and more shredding.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Makes perfect sense.
All right, what's your number 9?
All right, so number 9, did you play Star Fox Adventures?
Stairfax Temperatures?
Stairfax Temperatures?
I love JonTron.
Yes.
Anyway, yes, I played a little bit of it. Go ahead.
I thought Crystal would be good in the game.
Okay.
But you give her a staff moveset, because that's something that Smash Brothers doesn't really have yet.
Okay.
So, like, you could just take all, like, for specials, you could just take all, like, the staff power-ups, like Fireball or Boost, whatever.
Sure. All right, so she'd be more like an in-your-face, like...
Yeah, she'd be more,
close quarters combat,
more
kinda.
like interface, but she also has, like, Fireballs, and then, like, side bit with, like, that Frost flamethrower thing. So
Okay.
it'd be more, she'd be more, like, rush down. Kind of like all the space animals in Smash games. But, she has ranged weapons, so...
That sounds awesome.
Staff. So I thought that'd be interesting, because that's
Sure.
something Smash hasn't seen yet.
Be a nice little addition to the Star Fox family in Smash. You can it's only Fox and Falco, right?
They took Wolf away for whatever reason, because Wolf was awesome. And
Was Wolf in the game?
He was in Brawl.
Oh, he was in Brawl. I never played Brawl, so...
I played a lot of Wolf because he was really fun. I
Okay,
was sad
cool.
to see him go. But anyway.
All right, my number 9. You might not know who this is, and that's all right.
Okay.
Is Samanosuke from the Onimusha series. Basically, I don't know if you ever played those games. It's
Nope.
like Resident Evil in like feudal Japan.
Yeah, I've heard
So
of him.
he's like a samurai, but it's like a survival horror game, but you, instead of shooting guns, you're slicing fools up with
That's-
swords and stuff.
Okay.
He's awesome. He gets all these like really high powered weapons, and like these demon power
Okay.
things, and I don't know. I kind of,
That's awesome.
like I said, these are all half-hearted, but like his final smash could be like one of the 3 elemental weapons that he gets from the first game can
Okay.
do just some like big attack, like a
Big sword
wind
slash.
attack or a big lightning or fire attack, and smash people.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So my number 8 is Scizor from Pokemon.
Okay, I have no idea who that is.
Big red insect-looking dude.
Okay.
I don't know. He's from Generation 2.
All right.
He's my favorite Pokemon because he's a big like.
Oh, he's an actual Pokemon.
He's a Pokemon. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Not like a big pair of scissors. No. like he's
I didn't know if he was like a trainer or something like that.
No. He's just a big bug. You know what Scyther is?
Yes.
Scyther is the evolution. Scizor is the evolution of Scyther.
Oh, all right.
You kind of picture it. So I gave him for all of his specials. He'd just have Pokemon moves like neutral would be X Scissor. It'd be kind of like Marth's, where like he charges up and like does like a cool X Scissor thing, you know. But I gave him an interesting twist. Like his down B, there's a move called Iron Defense.
So that would basically be like a defensive move instead of
kind of. But what it'd do is it would double Scissor's weight.
Oh, okay. So it would make it even harder to knock him off. Okay.
But it would half his attack. So it'd be balanced.
Always gotta have that balance, baby.
So because if you just had a character that's super heavy and super fast and strong, like and his fall speed would double. So like it'd be trade-offs.
Sure.
But like you know, like side B bullet punch would be like a rush down thing. Then up would be raise your wind, which would just be like a sweet swirl thing, which would bring him back to stage.
That's awesome.
So I thought that'd be interesting because I love Scizor and I've always pushed him for Smash. Because I think it'd be interesting.
That's cool, man.
But he's not as recognizable as like Charizard or Pikachu. But anyway, go on.
All right, my number 8 is Ryu Hayabusa from the Ninja Gaiden series.
Mm-hmm.
I think he would. I mean, it's just obvious as to why he would fit in.
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
He's a great close quarters combatsman, and he just looks awesome. I love those games. One of my biggest gaming accomplishments ever is beating Ninja Gaiden Sigma on PlayStation 3 on the Master Ninja difficulty level.
Okay.
Took me months, but just slowly picking at it, and then putting the controller down for a few days because being like didn't want to break it. But yeah, I was thinking like his final smash could be his Azuna drop. I don't know if you know what that is.
I've heard of it.
He basically does like this sweet little sword combo, knocks them up into the air, kind of hugs them.
Yeah.
And then starts spinning really fast, flips upside down, and just drives their head into the ground.
All right, that's cool.
So that would just, I guess that would kind of be like an instant kill for whoever he grabs with that. But yeah, so that's my number 8.
That's awesome. My number 7, in the realm of kind of funny, is Waluigi.
Oh, gross.
Waluigi. Waluigi is my favorite Mario character.
Are you serious?
I love Waluigi. He's just funny and goofy and lanky.
Okay, all right, that's cool.
He's
I can't get over how stupid his name is.
Wah.
Wario makes sense because it's the M flipped upside down. Waluigi was just like the laziest.
Like
that's like naming the Wii U the Wii U.
Yeah, fair enough. But Luigi and Waluigi are my favorite Mario characters.
Cool.
So like I named all his moves like down to be the wah stomp, or his up B would be super wah jump, and then like neutral would be like rose throw because he's known for like being like trying to be a Casanova.
Gotcha.
And like throwing roses at people would be funny. And I think it'd just be a funny, lanky, goofy character, and you'd fit right into Smash.
All right, so let's see here. My number 7 is Zitz from Battletoads.
Okay, I can dig that.
They already had, I think it was Zitz. They had him in the newest Killer Instinct on the X-Bone.
Yeah.
He was like a timed exclusive character, meaning you could play him for like a very short amount of time, and they ripped him out of the game, which was like, why?
Why would you spend all that time making
Seriously,
a character? And
like,
be like
they gave him combos and moves and everything, and then they just pulled him out of the game. So I heard there's a season 3 coming. I really hope he's just one of the characters that is part of that. Anyway, sorry, we're talking about Killer Instinct now.
It's okay.
But for Smash, like one of the classic Battletoads things that happens in that game is when they finish a combo, they usually, their fist grows like a monstrous size, or their boot grows like 10 sizes too big.
Spikes on it.
Yeah, well, yeah, that too. But so that could be kind of like their Smash is just like their fist or his fist or boot just gets huge.
That's cool. I could dig that because that's like a kind of like a Nintendo exclusive. Not really, but like a lot of people played Battletoads on the NES. So that'd be cool to have them back. So my next 2 are kind of the same, but from different games. But you'll see what I'm talking about. So number 6 is Zero from Mega Man Zero.
Perfect.
Because I mean, Mega Man's cool, but Zero's cooler. But like everyone in Mega Man is cooler than just base Mega Man to me. Like Mega Man Volnut or Mega Man X or Mega Man Zero.
Okay.
But like you could have like a cool combination of Zero would have like a sword for like up close, but you also have a blaster, so you could like charge it. It'd be kind of like Samus's neutral B.
Okay.
Where you could charge it, but it wouldn't be as powerful because, like, he's still up close and.
Yeah, because he's got his laser.
Yeah, got combos. So, like, neutral B blaster, like, for his side, I thought it'd be interesting if you use his dash attack, his dash along the ground, and be like a combo starter, but you could also use it in the air.
Okay.
So it'd be like a recovery option, and I think that would be like kind of fundamental to his gameplay.
Sweet.
And then down to be charged sword, where he like charge a sword up for his next like sword attack would be more powerful.
Okay.
So I think it'd be an interesting,
You can definitely tell who actually plays Smash and who doesn't in this podcast, because I'm like, I want this guy, and he would do a Smashy attack, and Connor's like, I want this guy because of this, and this move would do this, and this is very technical, and blah blah blah. Yeah,
that's just how my brain works when it comes to Smash.
No,
that's sucks,
but that's why you're so good, man. So cool.
But that's Zero. I think it'd be cool.
It's funny. Quick thing on that.
Right.
I think Zero is cooler than Mega Man, but I think Mega Man X is as cool as Zero.
I'll be willing to compromise that they're both really cool.
So, all right, number 6 for me is something that would never happen in 1,000,000 years.
That's fine.
Is Raiden from Mortal Kombat.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
But hey, Bayonetta got in.
True.
So,
and
it's
that's
in
a
the
very
realm of
not
possibility.
G-rated game at all. But yeah, Raiden, I think he would be awesome. Like teleporting.
Yeah.
Shooting not fireballs. Like shooting lightning. And then his final smash would just straight up be his X-ray from Mortal Kombat X.
It was like it just blows people up.
Yeah, and you're like, seeing him just like crack Fox's skull in X-ray mode and stuff. I think that would be awesome. Never happened, but man, that would be sweet.
I think, like, now that Bayonetta's in there, and they've had M-rated characters in the game, like Snake and Bayonetta, and but I think it could, like, out of all the other Mortal Kombat characters, I think Raiden's the most likely.
Exactly.
Like, compared to, like, Scorpion or Sub-Zero.
Yeah.
But Raiden's, like, actually, but that would be really cool, actually.
I like Raiden a lot.
So, along with my super cool robot people, I have Custom Robo. Have you ever played that game?
I've heard of it and never played it, though.
Ray Mark II is the base Custom Robo you get in the game.
Okay.
And the whole game is built around like dropping pods, bombs, blasters.
Okay.
So he'd be more of like a ranged character.
Okay.
Which would be but he'd be like a fast range character. But it'd be interesting. So because like all of his specials would be like bombs, pods, air dashes,
Sweet.
Cool stuff. And then but another thing you'd have is in Custom Robo you can I just said air dash, but you can hover for a little bit.
Oh, all right.
So you can
That'd be handy.
So it'd just be like a good mix-up game. But I think it'd be cool.
Cool.
People have wanted him in the game since Melee.
You'll have to show me that.
Yeah,
game,
it's a really fun game.
It sounds dope. So, all right, let's see. My number 5. Actually, my top 5 was actually really hard for me because I was like flip-flopping over and over again as to putting who where. Number 5 for me is Tifa.
Okay.
From Final Fantasy VII.
I could dig that.
I think she would be fantastic. She would fit seamlessly. She'd be just as seamless, if not more, than Cloud.
Okay.
Because she's a straight-up brawler. And then her final smash would be her limit break. Like, you would have to do the slot machine.
Oh, that'd be cool.
So, and then it ends with Final Heaven.
Like you'd hit someone, and then like the slot machine would come and be like, doot, doot, doot,
exactly.
Doot. Okay, that'd be cool.
Yeah. So it would decide whether or not you just did a lot of damage to them, or if you just straight up got like an insta kill.
Okay, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Okay. For my number 4, I have Mitsurugi
from Soul Calibur.
Soul Calibur.
Nice.
So Brian knows I love Mitsurugi.
You love you some Mitsurugi.
And I think it'd be interesting because he'd be a slower paced sword character. Because a lot of the sword characters in Smash are, you have Link who's like a range, but you have Cloud. And, they're all different, but he'd be like more of a strategic sword character.
Okay.
But his main gimmick would be his stance changes.
All right.
So like you change it, you press a B button and it'd go from like in Soul Calibur you can switch between, I forget what they're called, but he's like brings his sword up.
Yeah.
He can do all that cool stuff, and that'd be his main gimmick because you could change up his moveset and his down would be Soul Charge.
Okay.
So you can do more damage, but I think it'd be interesting inclusion.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
Because like the definitive Soul Calibur version is like the GameCube version or something.
Sure. Well, no.
No, I know, but I want it to be.
Yeah, the definitive Soul Calibur version was definitely Xbox.
Okay.
The original Xbox.
The Spawn.
Well, I don't know about Spawn, but just from like a gameplay standpoint, it just held up the best. And Spawn is a really cool character.
Oh yeah.
He's better than Heihachi because Heihachi's amazing in the Tekken series, but putting him in the Soul Calibur, it was just a little awkward.
It's like, this dude doesn't actually fight with weapons.
Number 4 for me is, you're not going to know who this is. Well, you might. Dart from Legend of Dragoon on the PlayStation 1. So this was another RPG back in the day that had some really cool mechanics in it. I had no idea what it was. A buddy of mine let me borrow it because he's like, oh, you like Final Fantasy? Like, you'll like this game. So he let me borrow it. It's a lot of fun. It's 4 discs long.
Okay.
Which meant it was really good on the PlayStation. Just kidding. So yeah, basically what it is you're kind of normal. Like Dart, he's just like this swordsman.
Okay.
But then you turn into a dragoon. Okay. Which is like you grow wings and like you float and you kind of become this like floating almost dragon soldier, and you can do like bigger, more devastating moves and more damage and stuff. So I figured like his final smash would just go all straight dragoon and start skewering people.
That's cool.
Yeah.
All right. So my number 3 is Knuckles the Echidna.
Nice.
Knuckles is my favorite Sonic
Wait,
character.
who? I'm sorry.
Oh, thanks.
I love how you had to say the Echidna afterwards. Like, we're not going to know who Knuckles is.
Yeah, fair enough.
Knuckles, you mean the bouncer at the bar in downtown Nashville?
You call him Knuckles.
Anyway,
I want that guy in Smash.
That's a totally solid choice.
But yeah, like you could give him a spin dash, but it'd be slower than like Sonic's, because Sonic in Smash 4 is ridiculously good.
Yeah.
He's like straight rush down, but you could give him a spin dash, but like it'd be slower.
Okay. Yeah.
But like his whole thing, like he could glide. Like I just think it'd be fun. He'd be like a slower Sonic, but more like Sonic's kind of hit and run, but he'd be more like a combo based character.
Sure.
You could take some of his drill thing from the Adventure series. You could glide. I think it'd just be just be a fun character.
That's legit. I mean, like they made Sonic work, and Sonic's not really like a punchy kind of character, so Knuckles very much is.
Yeah.
So I honestly think he would fit better in that game than Sonic would.
I think it'd be great.
And you're telling me that Sonic's a great character, so
yeah,
awesome. I never played as him, so
it'd just be a slower Sonic kind of, which is what
slower
he is in the
and
game.
more powerful.
Slower and more powerful.
It's like the Street Fighter 2, the original for like Super Nintendo. Ken and Ryu have the exact same moveset. Ryu is slower but more powerful, and Ken is quicker and does less damage.
It'd be kind of like that.
So yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
But yeah, so Knuckles.
Yeah.
The Echidna, not Knuckles, the bouncer at the bar at Nashville.
He's a good guy though. That Knuckles, I like him.
Knuckles is good.
All right, number 3 is my second musical character.
Okay.
Gitaru Man.
Yeah, you showed me Gitaru Man.
I did. I think he would be fantastic in that game. And I had an idea for like his final smash. It would be a very quick little guitar battle with all like the on-screen prompts, like normal in the actual Gitaru Man games. And then if Gitaru Man beats you, then it takes you off the screen.
So it'd be like a duel.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, that's cool. If the other character does the inputs better, then it does like damage to Gitaru Man or something like that. So I think that would be pretty sweet.
All right.
Yeah, mine are a lot less fleshed out than Connor's.
Yeah, I put a lot of thought into these.
I did not.
Because most of these guys I voted for in the Smash ballot. So I was like, like you have to give her descriptions of like, this you could use this. Is blah, blah, blah.
That's awesome.
Anyway, so my number 2 is Girahim. Brian does not know who this is, but I kind of described it to him.
Yeah.
Girahim's from Skyward Sword. He's like the main like rival character. But his whole gimmick would be you have to summon knives. His whole thing is he can summon swords and knives, and it'd be cool.
So it would be kind of like his resources.
Yeah, it'd be like I described it to Brian as like Hakan in Street Fighter, where he has to oil up before all his moves.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to, but it's way more efficient if you do.
Exactly.
And like his side B would like knife throw, and like his down B would like you waste all your knives. Like you press B and you bring up like 7 or 8 knives, and like you buff your attacks for those 7 or 8 hits, and like you can teleport around. It'd be cool. I think it'd be interesting. Addition.
All right. My number 2 is one of my favorite video game characters of all time.
Okay.
And that's Jill Valentine from Resident Evil. Normally, I wouldn't have thought of her in like a fighting game capacity until I played Marvel vs. Capcom 2, and they added her in it, and they made her totally legit.
All right.
So I love her to death. The best thing about her campaign in the original Resident Evil games is that she got the bazooka.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was gnarly. Had all kinds of different rounds. There was like acid rounds, grenade rounds, fire or flame rounds. So it's really powerful, especially against living things. That's a direct quote from the game. But yeah, I think she'd be great. Her bazooka would probably just be her final smash. She could just launch it around and blow people up.
So Barry is my favorite Resident Evil character for that reason.
He should be.
He's just the best.
What is this?
But I think that'd be cool. So Brian bet me $200 that he knew what my number one would be. And if you guys know anything about me,
I take PayPal.
Yeah.
And Venmo, by the way.
So my number one is Snake, but not the Snake you're thinking of. It'd be Big Boss from MGS5.
Okay.
Since he's the most recent iteration.
Sure.
And so you never played
Kiefer Sutherland.
You never played Project M. I played it a little bit. But Snake in that game is more of like a trap-based character as opposed to Brawl, where he's just more in your face. But he'd be kind of like that. You know, he'd have grenades. He'd have a tranq pistol, which would put enemies to sleep, and you can like set up all your traps.
That'd be cool.
So you have like grenades, tranq pistol, C4. But the only change is that his up B would be his rocket arm.
All right.
And it is either rocket arm or his Hand of Jehudi, which you never got that far in the game.
I did not.
But Hand of Jehudi like teleports things to you. But I thought it'd be cool if it worked reverse, where you could like you grab the ledge and then teleport Big Boss to the ledge, or rocket arm in the more realistic sense, where it'd just be magnetized and then he'd grab the ledge and do that. But it has to be like a finishing move.
Sweet, man.
But Big Boss is my number one pick for Smash.
Perfect.
But I'll take Snake.
So my number one was actually on Flock of Geeks. Podcast.
Are you stealing stuff, dude?
Not really.
Come on, man.
I mean, just great minds think alike. That's how I look at
it.
Good save. My number one is Simon Belmont from Castlevania. I love that dude. He's all like whoosh, whoosh, just whipping up bad guys and stuff. I feel like his final smash could be so in the game, one of the best like sub weapons you get, like offhand weapons, is like this cross that you throw. It goes all the way across the screen and comes back to you. And then you get this like secondary upgrade version of it where you can throw 2 at a time or 3 at a time. So I feel like his final smash could be the 3 crosses, and they go all the way across the stage. They're a lot bigger than they are in the actual Castlevania games. But they're like devastating amounts of damage. So you can avoid them, but if they hit you, you're going to explode to death until you die from being dead.
That's cool.
So yeah, Simon Belmont.
So my honorable mention is Simon Belmont.
Yeah, is it really? That's hilarious.
I think I was really curious to see like where lists would cross, and it's really funny that it's just one.
Just one in the honorable mention, and my number one.
Yeah.
All right, so my honorable mention is Beat from Jet Grind Radio on the Dreamcast. So he skates around, he fights and all that jazz, and then like I don't know how it'd be implemented, but his final smash would have something to do with tagging.
Okay.
Like spray painting. So like a little spray painting mini game.
Okay. So in Project M, Sonic has a Beat costume.
That's awesome. That's really cool. I had no idea.
Yep.
Well, there's our top 10 Smash characters. Thanks to Kester and Defense for that suggestion. Moving right along here. I've been really, really, really looking forward to this because we're gonna talk about Final Fantasy VII right now. Now, the thing that makes me excited about this discussion is I've been playing Final Fantasy VII since it first came out. So since I was a small kid, I have the nostalgia factor with the game. Connor played Final Fantasy VII for the very first time like 2 months ago.
Yeah.
So I kind of want to like just have a discussion from the point of view of somebody who only recently played it, and then somebody who's been playing it since the beginning.
Yeah.
I just kind of wanted to pick your brain, and
my brain is untinged by nostalgia.
Yeah, exactly. See how our opinions differ on certain things. So I've got a couple questions and things I want to ask you about the game.
Okay.
First and foremost, how do you feel about the combat? It's very classic, standard turn-based RPG.
So, let me start off with, I'm not a huge fan of RPGs. I never got into them.
Yeah.
It's not like I don't like them. It's just I never play the right ones.
Okay.
So, but I really like the combat. It's very old school, as you said, but it's also quick. Like it gives a real urgency with whatever the bar that fills up lets you turn. It gives a real urgency to turn-based combat, which is kind of hard to achieve
Yeah.
Because it's turn-based. Like, normally you have time to... Like you can pull up, like, an item menu and just kind of pause the game for a little bit, but, like, it feels wrong doing so.
Yeah.
It feels like cheating. Like, the first time I played, I turned on the wait system.
Okay.
But I'm going through the game a second time, and I turned on whatever active, I think it was what it is, the quick one, because now that I know how the system works. But I love it, to summarize what I just said.
Cool. Final Fantasy VII is actually the first real RPG that I played as a kid. I hadn't played anything, like I had a Super Nintendo growing up, but I never played Final Fantasy III. I never played Chrono Trigger. Those all came later. So my very first real RPG was Final Fantasy VII for the PlayStation 1.
Okay.
And it took me a little bit to get used to because I wasn't familiar with the whole concept of being like, okay, so I smack you and then I have to wait until
you
smack me. But I fell in love with it after a very short amount of time. And yeah, man, that's still one of my favorite combat systems in that game. So cool. I like that. I like that you like it. My other question, well, I have a few more, but my other question to you is, one thing about Final Fantasy VII that I absolutely love is the materia system, and I just kind of wanted to get your opinion on that as far as like being the way you utilize all of your abilities and skills and stuff in the game.
Okay. I kind of first time I went through the game, like I went through the game first time being totally, like, nearly totally blind of how everything works, and I hardly even use material systems. Like, I'll give Cloud a spell, and whatever, that's cool. But like now that I'm going through the second time, and I really understand like depth of like you can literally just make whatever kind of character you want. Like you have kind of like presets. Like, characters have certain strengths that you can play to, but like I'm gonna make Barret a healer.
Yeah, exactly.
But like I don't care. Actually, that sounds pretty alright. Actually, making Barret a healer.
Yeah.
You can put him in the background. Anyway, I was just making.
I actually, in my most recent playthrough, I had Barret as my healer.
Yeah.
So.
But like this kind of goes into my other point is that all the characters, like, they all feel pretty unique. But I hate Cait Sith.
I don't think I've ever met anybody who was like, Cait Sith is one of my main party members.
No, he's just dumb looking.
He's stupid. And plus, like, spoiler alert, the game came out forever ago, so if you haven't played it by now, sorry.
Eris dies.
Yeah. No, Cait Sith is a total jerk. He's such a freaking jerk.
Oh yeah, because he works for Shinra.
Shinra. Yeah, he's a total. I hate him. His character sucks. He works for the bad guys.
Yeah.
And then he's like, yeah, can't we just pretend like none of that stuff happened? And then you're like, I guess. And then the game continues, and I'm like, that is obnoxious. But anyway, cool. Yeah, I really like the materia system a lot. It for a kid who's never played an RPG, I feel like the materia system was really user friendly for me to be able to be like, oh, ice. That means if I put it in this slot, I can use ice stuff. That's easy. I understand that. But that's cool. All right, let's see. Next question. How do you feel about the summon animations? Even though the game is so old, I still love watching the summon animations.
Those blew my mind.
Really?
Like,
I mean, that's awesome.
Still, like, I was like, oh, yeah! Like, it was really awesome.
That's awesome.
I didn't even get half the summons you told me. Like, I got, what was it, Shiva?
Yeah, you got Shiva first.
Yeah, and I totally missed one, apparently.
Yeah, Chocomog. That's actually the very first one you can get.
Where do you get that, anyway?
The very first time you go to the Chocobo Ranch.
Oh.
And the guy's like, you have to catch a Chocobo and get past that giant super snake.
Yeah.
If you talk to one of the Chocobos, you get like a couple of prompts, or you can choose different things to say. It's like, do you want to say wark or do you want to say wark? Wark. And if you choose the right one, all of the Chocobo within that little pen do this little dance for you. It's really weird. And then it's like, received Chocomog materia.
You're like, thanks.
And you're like, I have no idea what that is. And then you equip it, and then you use it for the first time, and you're like, what's happening?
What is this? But yeah, so my first experience with someone's was Shiva. I think that's what her name is.
I still like Shiva's animation.
She's really cool. I was like, oh yeah, giant like water goddess.
Yeah.
But I think what really blew my mind is Odin. I think is that the dude who rides on the horse with the antlers?
Mm-hmm.
Odin blew my mind because he just like there's storm clouds everywhere.
Yeah.
And you're like, what's gonna happen? Like, what? And then just his face with his red eyes and just antlers rides on his horse.
Yeah.
Then he gets a spear and he throws it up super high, and just all the clouds part and pierces the heavens, and it's super anime. And I was like, oh, this is sick. And then it came down and killed everything, and I was like, I like this game. I'm
just picturing you being like, this is the greatest thing of all time. You know what the funniest part is, though? Like you said, you didn't get all of the summons. The best summon in the game, in my opinion, the gnarliest summon in the game, is Knights of the Round. And he has still not seen it. You're planning on going back through the game a second time, right?
100%ing it.
Cool.
Like, doing everything.
That's awesome, because there's so much to do once the main storyline gets to the point where it's like, all right, go fight Sephiroth in the crater. And you're like, but there's so much other stuff I can go do. So that's awesome, man. I can't wait for you to see that. And I really like the fact that even today, from a game back in late 90s, is still like able to make you go, wow, that was really cool.
The strongest summon I got was Bahamut Type 0.
Okay, yeah, Bahamut 0 is dope.
Also, all the Bahamut summons are just really cool. Because I got Bahamut, it's like, oh yeah, like laser beams and fireballs. And I got Bahamut.
It's Neo Bahamut.
Neo Bahamut, who just picks up the enemies and then just blows them away. It's like, that's cool. How can you top that? And I get Bahamut Type 0, and it's like, oh, that tops that. Because he zooms out, it's the moon, and he comes from the moon and just has this giant orbital laser. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I was the same way with you. The first time I played through the game, Bahamut 0 was like the definitive one for me. But then a buddy of mine was like, did you get Knights of the Round? And I was like, how do you do that? And you have to get a gold chocobo in order to get it. Yeah. Like, that is the only way to get Knights of the Round. Even if you have the high wind, the little island that you have to go to get it, there's nowhere to land. So you have to have the chocobo, which can run on ocean and everything else. So, but yeah, that's awesome, man. Really quick before we move on, you said you had some things that you liked about it and things you didn't like about it. I was just curious about it. So.
I put characters are fantastic. Like, some of the most memorable characters, except for Cait Sith, are just, all of them are really cool. They all, like, the range of the spectrum. Like, you got like Yuffie, who's like your happy-go-lucky whatever girl. Yeah. But then you have like Shadow the Hedgehog incarnate through Vincent,
which is funny because he came out before Shadow.
I know.
Okay, just saying. Want to make sure you know.
It's just funny. And then you get like Sid, who's just this rough-talking dude. Sid's cool.
I actually didn't like Sid the first time I played through the game. I was like, this dude's kind of a jerk. And then I was like, I love Sid because he's like a no-nonsense, always smoking, stabbing fools with his giant spear.
And Barrett's cool. Like, all the characters, like, I just like all the characters.
Yep. Cloud and Tifa are my two favorite Final Fantasy characters of all time.
I like Cloud. Tifa's really cool. I like Barrett because it's a big dude with a Gatling gun arm. And I was like, yeah, that appeals to me as a person.
That's awesome.
And then I put it's still visually, except for like the overworld where you just playing around with Lego people.
Yeah.
But like most of the pre-rendered backgrounds and all the CG stuff, and even the battle system, like it all still holds up today.
Yeah,
like,
I still think it looks great.
Yeah, like it's really like stunning. Like especially final boss fight with Sephiroth is still visually just amazing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Where he summons meteors, like it's really cool. Music's good. Not much more I can say about that. And then one of the pros I put is unlimited customization through Materia, where you can literally just do whatever you want, and it's really cool.
I love that about the Materia system.
I put a couple of cons, gripes with the game. I put the starting length in Midgar is just a bit too long for me.
That is one of the most common gripes with that game ever. It's like everybody's like, okay, once you get through Midgar, the real fun portion of the game can truly start. But yeah, I totally agree with you.
Midgar's like 4 or 5 hours long.
Yeah.
And I still haven't, like, I told you I was doing another playthrough. I still haven't, like, I'm in this Shinra building, and I just, like, I'm at the very end. Like, I'm fighting, like, I just found Aerith, or I guess it's both.
It's both.
And I need to fight that boss, and I lost that boss one time. I was like, I don't want to do this. Like, I just want to go breed chocobos or just do anything with this.
Yeah.
I put a pro or con to some people. I could see it getting to some people. It's really Japanese.
Yeah.
And if you don't know what I mean by that, Japan has a lot of tropes they like to put in video games because they put it. It's universal to whoever's making the game. Like America does the same thing. Like for instance, like Nathan Drake is a big shoot gun bang bang man.
Sure. Yeah.
I like
with his quips and his one-liners.
But on the opposite end of the spectrum, you have Cloud, who's just a silent, brooding protagonist. But I'm a huge fan of Japanese media, and you can kind of see it bleed over. A good example is Metal Gear Solid, because that is a Japanese company's take of what America's like, and it's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
And I got one more gripe, I think, somewhere. Lego people.
Yeah.
And I hate that, but it just gets to me, and I don't want it to. But
that's something that never bothered me as a kid.
Yeah.
Not even a little bit. Still to this day, I still don't even mind the little Lego people versions of them.
Yeah.
But I could see how if you don't have I played it from childhood till now nostalgia, being like, this was awesome. I get it. No, I understand.
It did grow on me for a while. Like, I'd totally buy like a Lego Cloud.
I would love that.
Thing.
I would love to have like the overworld versions of all the characters.
I'd want it to be really sharp though.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want it to hurt me.
Yeah, Cloud's spiky hair would be dangerous. So cool, man. I mean, yeah, that's fun. I'm glad you finally got a chance to play it. I know you've been putting it off for a long time. We had talked about it a long time ago. You were like, I've kind of wanted to play it, but I just never got around to it.
Yeah.
And
well, I never really had an opportunity to play it because I never had a PlayStation, and I never, but it got released on PS4.
Yeah, the PC port.
Yeah,
they put it on the PS4, and it's actually a really good version of that game, especially since they added the
×3 speed,
the Bravely default little additions like turning off random encounters, speeding up the game and whatnot. I love that. It makes the game way more tolerable, especially with grinding. Oh my goodness,
dude! Like and if I kind of cheated a little bit when I was grinding because you have that thing where you can have all limit breaks, and I was like, all right, if I'm grinding for forever, I'm just gonna destroy everyone.
Yeah,
like I'd use like Blade Beam and just do that.
Makes sense.
But yeah, that's enough for nostalgia talk for today.
All right, cool, man. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed the game. I'm looking forward to hearing your thoughts and opinions after you go through it a second time with a completely different lineup of characters.
We'll probably talk about here.
Yeah, we can do that again. I'm always up for talking about some Final Fantasy VII.
Sure.
Love that game. So now we are going to go into the news. So let's make it happen.
It's my turn to do news this week. So first off, just jumping right into it, the Assassin's Creed movie has finished filming.
Whoa, really?
Yeah. That's my reaction, because a lot of the video game movies just never happen. And Warcraft's coming out soon, too.
Oh, that's right.
Which I'm not super into, but it got done, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And like I'm still pulling for like a Metroid movie or like a BioShock movie.
Yeah, we'll see.
Or Metal Gear movie.
Metal Gear.
I have to put that in there.
Yes, absolutely.
But yeah, Assassin's Creed is probably the most realistic choice, and I could see it actually doing pretty well, because there's a little bit of dumb sci-fi stuff in it, but I don't know if they do that. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing that. I don't know, it might be out later this year or next year, so we'll have to go see that and tell everyone that.
For sure.
So me and Brian like heavy metal.
Yes, we do.
So this next one's kind of related to that. Iron Maiden is making a RPG.
Okay.
So you play as Eddie.
All right, that makes sense.
For those of you who know, Eddie is the big zombie-looking dude that's on.
That's like their mascot.
Yeah, that's their mascot. That's on all of their albums. And it's going to use the Iron Maiden soundtrack, but it's iOS only. So
right.
I might pick that up.
I'll check it out.
I think it'd be funny. I like Iron Maiden.
It's like $2 or $5 or something. I might scope that out.
I'm not sure. Like, I couldn't find much about it, so I don't know like how big of an RPG it's going to be. But I just think it's kind of funny. As a concept. So I put this in here. Metal Gear Solid 1 Unreal 4 remake.
You and that series,
I love
man.
Metal Gear Solid.
It's mind blowing.
You know how you love Castlevania?
The amount of times I've talked about Castlevania in comparison to the amount of times you talked about Metal Gear is like not even comparable.
And it's anyway. So it looks really good. It's called Shadow Moses.
That's you know what? But the thing is, that is pretty sweet. I would love to replay the first Metal Gear on Unreal Engine 4. The stuff that I've seen, like just the tech demos for Unreal Engine 4, are insane.
It's looking like, I don't know if it'll be like a top-down thing or if it'll be like a third person.
Okay.
Because right now they just have like base, like they showed like, they just have a base level layout. Like they showed Psycho Mantis' room, they showed the corridor where you fight Sniper Wolf, and they showed Cyborg Ninja at the end.
Okay, cool.
Which I think would be cool. Sure. It's PC only, so I might have to get you to download it, and then if it gets done, because
you gonna pay me?
Maybe I might actually.
All right.
But unless Konami might shut it down, because they like to do that.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Unless they're too busy making pachinko machines or
Yeah.
mobile games. But, it'd be interesting to see if that actually goes through. But it's a cool concept nonetheless.
Sure.
I'd rather them do their first 2 Metal Gears because those games are super big on the story, but no one's ever played them.
Sure.
But anyway, up next we got a Resident Evil 0 remake that came out this week.
Oh yeah. I'm really pumped about that because I really love the first Resident Evil game when they did the HD remaster for the GameCube, and I liked that they decided to do like a prequel story using the same game engine and starring Rebecca Chambers. I love Rebecca Chambers. I think she's great.
Oh yeah, a lot of people do.
She's one of my favorite Resident Evil characters. But I haven't picked it up yet, but I'm pumped on it, and it's just getting me more and more excited for the fact that they're doing that full HD remake of Resident Evil 2 because that's
gonna be good.
That's my favorite Resident Evil game of all time.
So I'm just kind of curious. Would you rather them have classic RE controls or RE4 controls?
Classic.
Okay.
I'm one of the few people on this planet who thinks tank controls are unfathomably easy.
Okay.
There are tons of people out there who's just like, oh, it's so clunky and awkward, and my brain just understands how tank controls work, no problem.
Okay.
So, but I don't mind. I mean, Resident Evil 4 controls are amazing too, but I like both. So either way, I'm going to be happy.
I think they'll do retro, but
sure.
I think it'd be interesting if it was an option, if you could play RE4 controls.
Well, the thing is that would require them to completely change the game because Resident Evil 4 controls would require non-pre-rendered backgrounds, and then
okay, fair enough.
You know what I'm saying? Tank controls would be pre-rendered, so that'd be 2 completely different games. So they're gonna pick one or the other.
I didn't even think about that.
Yep.
But
what's next?
Cool. So Mortal Kombat XL Edition is coming out. I forget. I didn't even know what console, but I think it's gonna be on everything. But it's
actually not gonna be on PC.
No PC.
No
oh
PC.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, they're not even getting the Combat Pack 2.
Nope.
They're
PC. They kind of just was like, yeah, we're just sorry about the PC version of this game. We're just gonna kind of focus on what's successful, and that's the console version.
That Master Race.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, it plays better on PS4 anyway.
Sure.
In my opinion. But yeah, that's cool, man.
Yeah. So it's gonna have Pack 1 and it's just gonna have everything. It's gonna have Pack 1 and Pack 2, which hasn't even come out yet. It's gonna have Brazil, Cold War, Samurai Skin. All like the cool costume packs.
Yep.
Which you already have bought, so
I do.
It means nothing to you. I might get it.
Well, the thing, the main reason as to why I might pick it up anyway is because they completely revamped the netcode for online play.
Oh yeah.
That's a big deal. Anything that's going to make online play, because online play for PlayStation 4 is already fairly seamless and it plays really well. So I'm not too bothered by it, but I have had a couple of bad matches. So anything they can do to make it better, I'm all for it.
Okay.
So.
Anyway, next up we got Battlefront DLC.
Okay.
So basically they're releasing the full game now because it's huge. 20 new items, weapons, vehicles, and star cards.
Okay.
4 additional heroes and villains. I'm going to come back to that in a second.
Okay.
16 multiplayer maps, which is a lot.
Crackle and pop.
And 4 new game modes. So they're basically just releasing the rest of the game now.
That makes sense.
But this is only the first part. This is only the first DLC because I'm sure there'll be 2 or 3 more.
Yeah. And that's fine with me. I mean, the majority of the people who are like, they should have done that in the first place. It's like, well, they didn't, so get over it. Now they're doing
Star
it.
Wars,
accept it for what it is. Star Wars.
So I'm interested to see who you think they'll pick for heroes and villains. I put a couple of suggestions down, but I'd like to see. I'm thinking 2 heroes and 2 villains. All right, what are your choices, Brian?
My 2 choices is I want to play as Jabba the Hutt, and I want to play as that weird triple-lipped dude that is chilling with Lando Calrissian in Return of the Jedi.
I'm going home. See you later. All right, but seriously.
You know what? I would love Dash Rendar.
I didn't even think about Dash Rendar.
I would love me some Dash Rendar in that game. So, yeah, that's my choice.
I think he's still canon, actually.
He is.
Sweet.
Shadows of the Empire takes place during and around Empire Strikes Back.
Okay.
So it's canon.
So is that your only pick?
That's my only pick.
Okay. So I put a couple more. I was trying to stay within universe, but one of them kind of got away from me.
All right.
So for heroes, I put Obi-Wan and Chewbacca are the obvious choices.
Sure.
You play as Ben Kenobi, and just Chewbacca would be cool.
Yeah.
And then for villains, I put Darth Maul because I couldn't think of another lightsaber wielding character that I'd rather have other than Kylo Ren, but they already said they're not doing Force Awakens DLC.
I would totally. You know what? I take it back. I have another person. I would love Shaft Windu if he was in the game.
Shaft Windu.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mace Windu.
Okay, all right.
Samuel
That'd
L.
be cool.
Jackson was also Shaft, so therefore he is Shaft Windu.
Okay.
Anyway, go ahead.
And then Darth Maul and IG-88. I had a hard time thinking of
IG-88,
gun.
all right.
But IG-88's the only other, like, you can do Jango Fett, but I don't want 2 Fetts in the game. And it wouldn't make sense canonically. Neither would Darth Maul, but who cares?
Sure.
Darth Maul.
Yeah, Darth Maul, because Darth Maul.
We're talking about the franchise that brought Darth Maul back from the dead. So
Yeah,
like, sure,
exactly.
why not? And then Five Nights at Freddy's RPG is on PC.
Good. That makes sense.
Cool. I don't have much more to say about that.
I like the first one because it's fun to watch people play it.
Sure.
But other than that, I'm not going to buy Five Nights at Freddy's 12. This time it's Freddier. Like, I don't. Like,
Freddy Reloaded.
Yeah, there's just way too many Five Nights at Freddy games. So.
This time it's that's good. And then Roy Amiibo pre-orders are up.
Oh, cool.
So I don't know. I Amiibo collect. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
Sweet. Is that everything?
Yep, that's everything.
Cool.
Kind of slow, but
Yeah.
there's a decent amount.
Kind of a slow news week, but hey, there's some good ones in there.
Good stuff. Looking forward to that AC movie.
Yeah.
I wonder what time do you think they'll do that? Do you think they'll do like Assassin's Creed 1?
It's gonna be like something Italian.
It's probably not going to be related to the series at all. It's probably going to be someone new. Maybe it's the Japan movie. Maybe they're
feudal Japan.
Maybe they're blowing that idea on the movie.
All right. So we're gonna move on to one more final quick segment here. We're just gonna breeze through these. Kind of a fun one. We were talking a bit earlier, and we were kind of going over games that we loved as kids that don't necessarily hold up today. Like playing them today, we're like, oh, all right. I remember this being way less terrible than it is. So, yeah, we're gonna kind of rattle off a few of those.
Okay.
So, Connor, what you got, man?
I put Tomb Raider Legend.
Okay.
I played that game a lot when it came out, like in 2006.
Okay.
Whatever. When I was a wee child of 11.
When you were barely born.
When I was when I was a fetus when I played that game. That game does not hold up well, and it makes you sad because I'm used to like Uncharted and like Assassin's Creed platforming, where it's just really good. And it just makes me kind of sad. It just it's not unplayable. It just doesn't bring me joy anymore.
Sure.
And then I put Army Men in 64.
Oh snap! I love the Army Men.
So
games.
I used to play that game a lot at my cousin's house.
Yeah.
And that game is terrible.
Yeah, they're awful.
That game is terrible.
They are no good for anybody.
And I put Agent Under Fire, which is a old James Bond game. Came out in 2001. That game's not good. I like it anyway, but I know it's not good.
Yeah.
And it didn't hold up whatsoever. And then lastly, I have Turok.
The first one for 64?
The controls ruin that game.
Yeah.
And it's like the rest of that game is really cool to me. And it just appeals to everything that I love as a person, but it's just not.
Once you're able to get past the controls and your brain kind of clicks with it, then the game is playable and still decently fun. But no, I completely agree. Like, it was a control scheme that they were basically just trying to come up with some way of playing a first-person shooter without 2 sticks.
Which GoldenEye did
back
great.
Then, they didn't. Yeah, I mean,
I don't know why they didn't do that.
Well, Turok's a lot more fast-paced than GoldenEye was.
Oh, yeah, and you have the Z-axis, which is more or less not a thing in GoldenEye.
Correct.
Okay, I can see that.
All right, so my list is pretty quick here. Doom on the Super Nintendo.
Okay, definitely see that.
I loved playing that as a kid on Super Nintendo because I love Doom. And I don't remember hating it as a kid. And then just recently, I got all my classic games set up. I fired it up. Playing Doom at like 4 frames per second on the Super Nintendo is a nightmare with the Super Nintendo controller. It is no good for anybody involved. And then up next, I put Soul Reaver, the first one, Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver. I played the demo of that on the PlayStation 1. It was on a demo disc from a PSN magazine, and that blew my mind back then. I picked it up for Dreamcast a few months ago.
Okay.
Because I was like, yeah, I'm stoked to play some Soul Reaver. That game is not aged well. That game controls about as well as a pogo stick with a flat tire. It's awful. It is no good.
Okay.
Story, I still like the story, but the controls, no good. I also put War Gods. It was another Midway fighting game from the PlayStation 1 era.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it was on the Nintendo 64 also, but I remember loving that game as a kid because it was like overly violent and very like cliche, like very not cliche, but very like standard Midway. And then But no, that game sucks. That game's terrible.
Yeah.
I'll still play it though.
You could put a lot of those fighting games from that era.
Yeah,
and
it's
like
true.
we popped in Killer Instinct, and we're like,
oh, from Super Nintendo.
Yeah, Super Nintendo, like this game sucks.
Yeah,
dude.
yeah, it's fun though. I'll still play it.
Oh yeah,
anytime.
I'll still play it, but it's not good.
And then the last one I picked was Duke Nukem Time to Kill on PlayStation 1.
Oh,
it was a third-person Duke Nukem game, so it wasn't first-person. Me and my buddy Aaron played that game all the time. When we were younger, we would put in all the codes and all the cheats and stuff to get all the weapons, and we loved it. And then I played it again recently, and it was just it's even worse than like Soul Reaver as far as how well it controls. It's terrible. But so yeah, that's
I have an honorable mention.
Okay.
Along the lines of Duke Nukem. Duke Nukem 64.
Oh man.
That's actually all right, but it's just not Duke Nukem 3D.
You are correct.
Anyway.
It was a good attempt at Duke Nukem 3D.
They tried.
So yeah, so that kind of wraps things up here.
Yeah.
Coming to the end of the episode. So we got some plugs here, and actually, here's something that's pretty cool, Connor.
Very new and awesome.
Very new and exciting. We got a piece of fan mail here. Yeah, it's very exciting. This comes from someone named Indie Gal. So thank you for writing in, Indie Gal. And she writes, "Hey, Brian and Connor, what are your favorite and most hated game cheats?"
Okay.
So what you got, man?
All right, so for my favorite, I put in this cheat many a time as a child, and Jedi Knight 2, Jedi Outcast.
Yeah.
It's a kind of conglomeration of cheats, but it's bubblegum, cherry, biscuit, and scooter.
I have no idea what any of those means.
So bubblegum's infinite health, cherry is unlocked the first 7 levels, biscuit gives you infinite force, and a scooter gives you infinite ammo. And there's another cheat I don't remember, but it gives you the lightsaber early.
Okay.
And then as an honorable mention to that is realistic saber combat on the PC version.
Oh, okay.
Turns it into the best lightsaber game ever. And
what's your least favorite?
For my most hated is Lion Mode in GoldenEye.
Oh,
because you unlock that doing something, and I can't remember what it is, but it's just the worst looking.
Terrible.
Like,
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Why is this a thing?
All right. So for my most favorite, it's actually a toss-up. I have a Game Shark for my original PlayStation.
Yeah.
And there is a code for Resident Evil 2 in Leon's campaign. Leon! The code is just called Super Ridiculous Code.
I love that.
That's all it's called. Doesn't explain what it is. You put it in, you enable it, you start the game. You hold, I think it's R1. Your character model's torso stays in place.
I've seen this.
But his head, arms, and legs just start flying all over his body like all crazy. And then he either flies up into the sky or sinks into the ground and disappears from the screen until you let go of the button. When you let go of the button, he comes back up and is perfectly fine like nothing ever happened. And it is so stupid and pointless, and I love it.
Is it just Leon, or is it all the zombies too?
It's just Leon.
I wanted the zombies to be like...
That would be insane. That would be hilarious. My least favorite... sorry, I had another favorite. All of the Doom cheats, like IDKFA, IDDQD, IDCLIP, basically all the stuff that makes the game...
Awesome.
Way too easy.
Yeah.
Which actually brings me to my most hated cheats. It's any game that makes, or any cheats that makes a game too easy.
Really?
Yeah.
Speaking of me just being like, unlimited force, unlimited health, whatever.
When I was a kid, I used cheats for almost every game I played because I was terrified of my abilities to actually play games. I didn't want to be bad at video games.
Okay.
So I'd use cheats on everything. And my brother always used to call me out. I'd be like, I'm really good at this game. He's like, yeah, because you use codes, because you use cheats. I'm like, shut up. And so I think I remember one day I was just like, you know what? I want to see if I'm actually good at games. And so I stopped using cheats.
Okay.
And now I play everything on like the hardest difficulty level. So I get a lot more joy out of that. So I feel like cheats kind of take away from the experience of certain games. All right, awesome. Well, thanks for writing in, Indie Gal.
Thank you.
It's really cool of you. Just a couple plugs here. We mentioned them earlier in the podcast, but our buddies Defense and Kester over at Flock of Geeks Gaming, go check out their podcast. Their links are in our descriptions below, so quick, easy access to them. Also, go check out our friends over at MultiTap Podcast. Their links are also in our descriptions below.
Links for everyone.
Yeah, links for everybody. 2 very good podcasts. I enjoy listening to those guys on a daily basis while I'm at work. So,
sweet.
Yeah, go check them out.
Cool. And then we got a couple shameless self-plugs here. If you like what you hear, go follow us on Twitter at Dragon Powercast and Facebook at Dragon Power.
I just found out our Facebook is facebook.com/Dragon Power Podcast.
Oh, Dragon Power Podcast.
Yes.
And if you guys want to send us fan mail, like Indie Gal over there, it's dragonpowerpodcast@gmail.com. What was that, Brian?
That is dragonpowerpodcast@gmail.com.
Thank you.
Once again, all of our links as well are in the descriptions below. Just go ahead and click on those. Give us some love. Give our friends some love. And we'll be back next Monday with another action-packed episode.
Dragon Power will return with episode 4.
Or whatever.
I was doing like a James Bond theme. Whatever. Don't worry. It's okay.
Anime intro. All right.
Oh, all right.
Thanks for listening, guys. We'll see you soon.
Bye.